He told me he was moving to a quieter neighborhood, but the truth was, Mr. Henderson was run out of town by a rogue gnome. No, I'm serious, a garden gnome. It all started innocently enough, just a regular Tuesday morning in the Ponderosa Pines community, a place where the lawns are manicured and the drama is as thick as a southern humidity wave. My neighbor, Mr. Henderson, a man whose life revolved around his prize-winning petunias and the HOA's bylaws, put a new lawn ornament in his front yard. It was a little guy, maybe a foot tall, with a red hat and a friendly smile. Harmless, right? Wrong. This wasn't just a gnome. This was a line drawn in the sand. According to Section 3, Subsection B of our HOA regulations, and believe me, the woman who runs our HOA, Brenda, knows that rule book better than she knows her own kids, all lawn decorations must be tasteful, understated, and non-distracting to the general aesthetic of the community. Now, to most of us, a gnome is about as distracting as a blade of grass. But Brenda? She saw it as an act of rebellion. The first letter came in the mail, sealed in one of those official-looking envelopes. "Dear Mr. Henderson," it started, "we have received a complaint regarding the placement of a lawn ornament at your residence. Please refer to the attached copy of the Ponderosa Pines HOA guidelines." Mr. Henderson laughed it off. "It's a gnome, Martha," he told me later. "A little ceramic guy. She's got to be kidding." He wasn't laughing a week later when the second letter arrived, this one with a fine attached, $100 for a gnome. This is where things went from silly to straight-up war. Mr. Henderson, a man who had never challenged a parking ticket in his life, decided he wasn't paying. He was a retired accountant, after all. He knew a bad deal when he saw one. He wrote a polite but firm letter back, quoting the very same bylaws and arguing that tasteful and non-distracting were subjective terms. Brenda's response was swift and brutal. The next week, Mr. Henderson got an official notice that his gnome was in violation and had to be removed within 24 hours. If not, the fine would double. Mr. Henderson, in a move that I can only describe as a moment of pure, unadulterated defiance, bought another gnome, a bigger one. This one was fishing, holding a little pole and everything. The tension in the neighborhood was thick. People would drive by Mr. Henderson's house slowly, rubbernecking at the growing collection of gnomes. He started with the two, but after Brenda sent a certified letter threatening to put a lien on his house, he went to the garden store and came back with a whole army. There were gnomes playing cards, gnomes sleeping in tiny hammocks, gnomes pushing a wheelbarrow. His entire front yard looked like a ceramic gnome village had taken over. Brenda, of course, was losing her mind. I saw her one afternoon, peeking through her blinds with a pair of binoculars, jotting notes on a clipboard. She organized an emergency HOA meeting, but when she tried to bring up the gnome situation, the whole room erupted. Mrs. Gable, a sweet old lady who bakes the best apple pie, stood up and said, "Brenda, for heaven's sake, they're gnomes. Let the man be." But Brenda wouldn't let it go. She claimed the gnomes were attracting pests and that they were a blight on the community. One day, Mr. Henderson woke up to find an official notice from the city, not the HOA, about public nuisance and code violations. That's when we all knew she had a friend on the inside. Mr. Henderson, for all his love of quiet living, wasn't a fighter. The fines were piling up, the stress was making him sick, and the constant letters were just too much. So, he sold the house. He packed up his petunias and his gnomes, all 42 of them, and moved to a small town where, as he put it, a man can have a gnome if he wants a gnome. And Brenda? She won. The HOA sent out a community-wide email congratulating themselves on maintaining the integrity of the Ponderosa Pines aesthetic. But a few months later, at the annual HOA meeting, a new rule was proposed. All lawn decorations, including gnomes, must be pre-approved by the HOA. A new man, a retired lawyer from Chicago, stood up and said, "That's a subjective and unreasonable restriction. I'll see you in court." The gavel hit the table, but we all knew it was the start of a whole new war. And this time, Brenda wasn't just fighting a gnome, She was fighting a man who had already been through worse.